So the lesson you're going to learn right now, a fake rich person has the Rolls Royce, but they have no assets. Or they have the yellow Ferrari, but they have no assets. Just because you have nice things doesn't mean you're rich. Another thing, be careful anybody tells you to live below your means. It takes away your spirit. The best thing about financial education is if you focus on the assets first, you can buy anything you want. So once again is your generation, you got more fake to wade through and to figure out what's real. So today's millennial money is fake rich people. And from my world, I started with absolutely nothing. And I've run in my lifetime, some of the most dangerous people on earth are fake rich people. And in my world, which is money, how do you know if somebody giving advice is real or fake? So let me go back to you, because your generation is also called millennials, the bling generation, right?
Yeah, it's all about what you wear and how you act, and portraying this life of living our best lives. And so traveling, buying purses of name brands.
Well, how about these guys who have $500 sneakers on?
Yeah. And and I used to work at a bank, so you would see this person come in with this lavish car and this their Gucci belt and their Valentino shoes, and had probably about $50 in the bank account. So it's like either they're knockoffs or you really don't know how to use your money.
Right. So one of the reasons you want to know about fake rich people is, I would say 95% of Americans are fake rich.
Yeah.
They may have, a nice big house, the Beamer, the whatever they got, and all this. They might have the fake Rolex or the fake this on, but how much time does your generation talk about bling, like purses and stuff like that? And
I think we're in the generation where we fit perfectly with keeping up with the Jones. And so I think it's more important for an average millennial, how they look and this life that they appear to be living than how financially healthy they actually are.
The problem with many people in my generation is they look rich, but they're fake rich. So the first thing that most guys or men and women buy is the big house. Mm-hmm. So these rock stars, football stars, they buy the big house. That's fake rich. Mm-hmm. Then they drive nice cars. And I have my Rolls sitting out here, I have my Ferraris. I love nice cars. And then they have a lot of bling.
Yeah.
But that's a very, very poor person. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, how does a young person know, especially if you're looking for a spouse or a partner and all this, and in business also? My biggest challenge in business was that I had a lot of business partners who were fake rich. Mm-hmm. They had nothing. But they lived in the big neighborhoods and all this. As one partner said to me, she says, "You only make $100,000 a year?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, and I went, "But the 100,000 came from the asset side." Mm-hmm. So 100,000 came from assets going into my income. And what they had is they had no assets. But her husband had the high-paying job.
Yeah.
And so their cash flow pattern went like this. Most went to taxes. And then they supplied this big house and all this. And then they had their kids in private schools.
Yeah.
So when you're driving around the neighborhoods looking at so-called rich people, most of them aren't rich. They're actually one paycheck away from disaster. So if you talk to young men or young women, whatever you guys are into, is you want to talk about assets. So that's my wife and Kim and I talk about all the time, is our assets. Our minds, as I've said this before, is in the asset column. Yeah. The average person, the middle-class person, their mind's in the liability column. So as a young woman today, I strongly suggest keep your mind in the asset column. Mm-hmm. Because I know when I was your age, a lot of it was just handling expenses, right? Mm-hmm. Was to rent, food, clothing, just survival.
Medical bills,
right.
Everything.
And then the biggest mistake many young people make is they want a high-paying job. And the trouble with a high-paying job is most of them wind up here in the liability column.
But Robert, I mean, you have a Rolls Royce sitting outside and your Ferrari out here too. So what does that mean?
Well, I like the nice life too. Okay? But this is the difference in financial IQ, financial intelligence. Because I think one of the most stupid things people say to young people, live below your means. Do you want to live below your means?
No.
Nobody wants to live below. I don't either.
Yeah.
So that's a poor person. Yeah. Okay? So this is the difference and why we have the Rich Dad Company and why I wrote the book Fake and Rich Dad Created the Cash Flow Game. It goes to this, okay? So here's my ruler. And I've had 6 Ferraris. I love nice cars. Again, this is my paddock, you know, and all this stuff. I love, and they're all real. I don't have a fake Rolls Royce out there. So the question is, how does somebody have this stuff? So that's what most of the so-called fake financial advisors will live below your means.
Yeah.
Well, look, sweetheart, I love my Rolls Royce, you know. I love my Ferrari. I may be Japanese, but I look better in Ferraris and Toyotas, you know what I mean? So this live below your mean is fake advice. If you really want to have the nice things of life, focus again on assets. Yeah. So the deal I have with my wife, Kim, is I can have anything I want, but my asset must pay for that. So the rule of thumb that Kim and I have as a couple is that if I want a new Rolls Royce, a new Ferrari, new boat, new anything, any liability, I buy the asset first, then it buys the Rolls Royce. So what's buying my Rolls Royce right now is I have apartment houses and golf courses. I just focus here, and I can have anything I want here. So for young millennials like you, focus here, or you can focus here. If you focus here, you can have anything you want.
Yeah. I remember once you told this story about when you wanted the Porsche, and you wanted it so bad, so you were like, okay, I have to go and find the asset to pay for the liability. And that's when it truly awakened within me that that's how it's done. You know, you don't, not like the regular millennials that get the job and then they find
buy
their
the nice
income
BMW they drive
to pay for their expenses.
The difference is here, I spend my time here. I go to classes for this. I don't go classes for the high-paying job. You know, I wouldn't go back to school to learn to make more, you know, higher-paying job over here because the first thing you'll pay is more tax.
Higher taxes.
So when I was your age, I took a real estate course here. And I learned how to have this by that. Yeah. So that's why my head is always in here, not over here and not over here. That's the difference. So if I could leave with all millennials out there, keep your brain active in the asset column. And when you buy assets, you can have any liability you want.
So thank you, everyone, and remember to learn the difference between a fake rich person and a real rich person. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.